Good morning. Just the one play yesterday. Another profit. Bit disappointed at getting out too early. I think that was the day to take Sun on. She had a day in the sun against Emma Raducanu, who had a slight wrist injury. Donna Vekic, job done. Made a decent enough profit if we did cash out after the second set win. Daniil Medvedev, I told you, top five clash. This is going to be more troublesome for Jannik Sinner than the market suggested. I did tell you pre-match. Thought this was far too skinny. Didn't take action on it, alas. Should have done. Should have laid Sinner after his win of the first set. Very short odds he'd have been. This is a top five clash. The market just completely ignored that. So don't be afraid to disagree with the market makers. Alcaraz, well, he lost the first set. I don't think there was much value in it, to be honest. He probably rose to about 1.5, I would suggest. But you'd have had to be confident in a quick response rather than going two sets down. Paolini, again, world number 7. Why on earth is she not favourite? That's a head scratcher. Why does the market have this 17th in the world 1.57 favourite? I wouldn't have taken Paolini on winning the first set. And it's an emphatic performance as well. So market getting it very wrong. So don't be afraid to disagree. I wasn't up for the late football yesterday. This is all about why I don't like early round Champions League football. I know nothing about Pennavetsis. I know a lot about HJK Helsinki, but I don't know about the comparative leagues. Lithuania, I'm expecting that to be. And Finland, how do they weigh up against each other? Look at that scoreline. It's a way to lose money, these early rounds of the Champions League. Just because it's Champions League, just because it's might be on the telly, doesn't mean you have to trade. It's something you're going to have to learn. Pick your battles. I was quite happy with Vekic and keeping my powder dry. Spain against France, I wouldn't have had a clue. Was it 0-0 for, 9 minutes in? That 0-0 pre-match pretty much scuppered. Would you have taken France on? A 2.7, the favourite match. It could as easily be 0-2 to France. This is what we've got to work with. And still, no goals, I think, from Kylian Mbappe. Lincoln Red Imps, all about timing of the goal as well, and the red cards. Well, he got a goal, and, red card there, goal, red card. Messy, to say the least. The new Saints, job done for them. Balkany, 1.7 favourites, 0-0 there. Shamrock Rovers red card, did it come late or early? If it was an early red card, then it was a good defensive display. No, it came a bit late. And Steaua Bucharest, as you expect, 1.06 shots. So that's the mess we have to work with. Early Champions League qualifiers. I would have gone automatically for HJK because I know them. But that's not the right way to approach the match, is it? Because you don't know the strengths or weaknesses of the opponent. On to today, and we've got more Champions League. Dutch against England. England are going to have to be on their guard today. The Dutch have impressed, particularly up front. England are no longer playing Slovenia and Slovakia. This is one of the big guns. It's going to be a nervy affair for the England, I would suspect. But again, impossible to read pre-match. Better enjoyed. I've done some research, but it's on the Champions League as well. But it's not with any huge confidence. We've got the same problems. How on earth do we unpack Ordubasi and Petro Cub? The good names, I suppose, for especially this, for Scrabble. Yaki Shiboy. But apart from that, 2-1, the research has gone for. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals tend to be the standard go-to for the research. Yak Shiboy to score any time. Flora and Selcher. 1.4 the favourite, Selcher. 2-2 draw. Well, that's interesting for a 1.4 favourite. But take all this with a pinch of salt, please. Highly unlikely I'll be touching these matches. Our business is from the 3rd of August onwards. Proper football. SPL, Belgian Jupiler League, Croatian HNO1 League, Czech 1 League. All of the leagues I know and love and make money on. First half goals, Rigas possibly scored in both halves in the last 7 matches. Slovan Bratislava, well-known name, but Struga, what are their strengths or weaknesses? I haven't got a clue. Possible winner, I would go for Slovan Bratislava. They've been in this competition many times. Klaksvik, I think, are Icelandic. And Differdanga, I think, are Lithuanian, Differdanga, Luxembourg, I would suggest here. How on earth do you unpack this one? The research gone for another 2-1 to Kai Havertz. Ludogorets, familiar name. And Dinamo Batumi, I think, from Albania. So I would be looking at Ludogorets, but is that because I'm familiar with them? That's the problem. We don't know much about their opponents, Dinamo Batumi. Dinamo Minsk as well, playing Punic. A couple of familiar names, 2.6 the favourite, suggesting that this is incredibly tough to call. 2-1 to Dinamo Minsk, as the researchers said. I'm afraid I'm highly unlikely to be staying up for these matches. I might stay up for the early ones. We just have to take the hit. It's not a very readable set of matches. Just because it's a Champions League, it doesn't mean you have to play. Conference League as well. A couple of 1.4 favourites. Torshavn against Auda in Latvia. Oh boy. That's all we need. That's about it today, I think, for the football. So again, it's going to be a quiet one. But it could be good for you to practice your research or practice your trading on your own. Do it with paper money or with a simulator like Fairbox got. Ask yourself, what will I do if Petrokub score first against the Kazakhstan or Dabasi? What am I going to do if Flora score first against the Slovenians or Slovakians? One of the two. Similar story, if Larn score first against RFS, Slovan Bratislava score first, and Ludogorets score first. Dinamo Batumi score first. What am I going to do? It'll give you a good opportunity to read the in-play stats as well and determine. Don't forget, making a decision not to trade is also a good trading decision, isn't it? So remember that. Tennis-wise, well, as you know, it's getting deeper and deeper, but we did get that nice Vekic play. Anything else I would have done yesterday, in hindsight, I would have kept to my preamble about this top 5 clash and these odds being far too short, and I should have taken on Yannick Sinner. Limited liability, if none. So that would have been a play there. Looking on to today, and Musetti, who's caught the eye, hasn't he, since his early rounds on grass court pre-Wimbledon. These are some really good matches today. Problem is, I like all 4 players from a trading perspective. Taylor Fritz, as reliable as they come, so if Musetti takes a set off him, or even 2, I think Taylor will come back. And again, for me, I think Fritz's odds are a little bit too short if I'm looking at it on the bare form. He has the ability to cock things up and then fight back, Taylor Fritz, but he's had a comfortable ride so far. This is a huge step up, but beating Alexander Zverev, that really is a big marker. But it's all about what happened pre-Wimbledon for Musetti, and he's had some fight as well. He's had to come from 2 sets down against Darderi to win the match, coming from a set down again against Comersano and indeed Mapeshi Perikar. So he's likely to concede a set, but he has beaten de Minaur, who's in that semi-final. Or is it a semi-final? It is in the other match at least. Nakashima, Harris and Thompson, really strong candidates. So I don't think this will be a 3-0 for Taylor. I'd be quite happy to, I think, lay Taylor. If his odds are short enough, he is a quality act. But Musetti is in really good form at the moment, and he fights. I would hit the haircut playing Novak Djokovic. And I think he hit the haircut's going to give Novak a run for his money today. Novak gettable if leading 2-0. Or I don't know if you take him on if he leads 1-0. But I think he's gettable. Certainly, he has been conceding sets against Popyrin and Fearnley. Normally, when he's 2 sets up, and that would be what I would be looking for today. I think these could be tiebreaker sets. Really difficult afternoon for Novak Djokovic, I think. Hit the haircut is pretty handy. As I say, all 4 of these, normally, I would be siding with from a trading perspective. So it makes it a very tough day to pick a weak side, weak player. Ostapenko against Krejcikova, again, 14th against 37th. The problem I have with the ladies' game, I don't know her that well at all. Ostapenko, we know. But again, like the Champions League, are we falling into the over-familiarity trap in siding with someone you know rather than her opponent? I don't know how to solve this one. Ostapenko has won the last 3 head-to-heads, 2022 and 2023, in straight sets, suggesting if Krejcikova wins the first set, she might be gettable. Rybakina Svitolina, 4th against 21st against, got a world number 4, must be respected. So you'd be looking to take on a Svitolina first set lead. But the men's game is getting far too tough now. All absolute quality players, suggesting that the shorties might be layable, particularly if they're 1 or 2 sets up. So again, it's going to be a quietish day. I'll try to stay up for Netherlands, England, but it's a hell of a slog. 2 a.m. start. And it's not tradable, let's be honest. You have any angles? You're going to lay England if England score first, but could they click into gear and suddenly score 2 goals? Dutch, you're going to lay the Dutch if the Dutch score first, but if you've seen their forward line, it's pretty good. And Cody Gakpo is scoring for fun because he's getting some very decent service from Memphis Depay and all of the other pie eaters in the Dutch side. Champions League, mostly useful for those of you who do Scrabble, as I say. Ignatia, Borac Banja Luka, that'll pick you a few points. Yerevan. But we do have a lot of odds-on favourites today, but that said, HJK Helsinki were odds-on. We also got a lot of red cards yesterday. That does scupper things as well. Conference League, probably not touching that at all. I think that's the only football on today. I don't think we have any league football of any importance scanning through. No. So I might be up and about for the early kickoffs, but please don't expect a trade. Enter the day not expecting a football trade. If you do get one, then it's going to have to be a compelling set of in-play stats and a compelling argument for me to get involved at this early stage in Champions League qualifying. You're not going to be seeing any Real Madrids here, or Juventuses, or Liverpools. I mean, you won't be seeing a Liverpool anyway, won't you? Or any of the other sides. This is the early struggles from lesser knowns. And you saw a lot of the odds-on favourites not delivering yesterday. So the market's having trouble reading these matches as well. And that's a theme that we've got, isn't it? The last 2 days. The market does get it wrong. So please remember that. 1.22 for a top 5 clash? I don't think so. I won't agree with that. I don't agree with the world number 7 being 2.38, considering she's this deep in the competition. So have the confidence to say, I don't agree with the market, or I don't think the market's accurate. Could be the same story today. I think the market's far too cavalier in putting Taylor Fritz up at 1.17. Is that because they were taken by his beating of Zverev, perhaps? Musetti is a battler. Maybe the rankings, yeah, but he's in form. He's deep. He's in the quarterfinals. He's not going to sit down and get his tummy tickled, is he? De Minaur as well, brilliant. Battler. Any time you see an Australian flag, you know they're going to give Djokovic a hell of a time. So if Djokovic wins the first or second, or goes 2-0 up, I'll be laying. He's not had his best season. So have a great day today. Again, I'll pre-warn members of footballtradingprofits.com. It's likely to be a quiet one today, but you never know. I might sniff out a Donna Vekic-like trade. If we can keep the green screens flowing, that would be excellent. Have a great day. I hope to see you, members of footballtradingprofits.com, on Telegram a bit later on.